Welcome to We the Village. I'm Elena Thomas. This is a show for us, women, men living our ordinary lives in ordinary neighborhoods and ordinary homes. Or so it seems. The thing is that every person has a unique story, their unique experiences, gifts, talents, and circumstances. They're not ordinary. It takes a village to become who we are. There's nothing ordinary about the way we choose to share our life with one another. In a world with so much loneliness and isolation, we take the time to recognize our village. These are communities that we build. These are the stories of how we show up for our quote-unquote ordinary lives, with creativity and presence to make the world suck a little less for each other. I hope that when you hear someone's story from their corner of the world, it will inspire you to look in your corner of the world and see who is in your village. On today's show, we're going to be talking to Oksana. She is my cousin. She is a mom, a wife, and an artist. She started drawing to deal with the death of her sister a couple of years ago. And what has come out has been nothing but extraordinary. The little sketches have turned into commission work. So we talk about her process and her village. Welcome, Oksana.
Hi. Well, thank you for having me. I am doing good. I'm excited to be here. I don't know how far back I should go. I was born in Kyrgyzstan, moved to America when I was 5 months old, was raised in Vancouver, Washington, basically up until I was 20 years old when I got married. But yeah, during that time, I was just surrounded by a lot of cousins, a lot of Russian community, a lot of just constant people and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, got married when I was 20 years old, moved away. That was it was hard. It was I wasn't expecting it. I just was like, I'm going to travel and blah, blah. But then I was like, I don't have my family around me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was hard. It was hard. It was getting used to. And from the time when I got married, we moved like 3 times. So every single place it took adjustments.
For sure. Yeah. So tell us about your little family that you've got going on there, your cute boys.
Yeah. So I am married to Miro, and we have 2 boys together. Arthur, he's our oldest. He just turned 4 years old. And then our younger one will be 2 in January. So they are a lot of fun. I love the stage. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Do you get to stay at home or do you get to work anywhere?
Yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And that is a lot because of like the daycare prices, and it just, what I would be working and getting paid as, it would be just going straight to daycare. I'm a mom and wife by day and an artist by night. So that's what I like to tell people. Yeah, so it's fun. It's good. Yeah, that's the only schedule I have. So yeah, I don't work during the day other than watching.
On your boys' schedule. I get it.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So the podcast is about the village, and it's kind of like, for me, I think every ordinary person, you don't have to be a social media influencer or some famous person to have a story. I think every person has a unique and interesting story to tell. And, we don't do this thing by ourselves. And currently there's such an epidemic of loneliness and isolation. Like social media, you would think it would have gotten us connected. But in reality, we scroll and we think we connected, but really there's not a lot of connection going on. And so people feel lonely and not seen. I know for myself, I didn't have connected relationships with friends until I was like 40, and that's those are the people that I do life with. And so I'm always interested in little communities or villages that we create that gives us life, that helps us raise our kids, helps us, cultivate our talents, our gifts, our purpose. That could be a worship community. That could be family. That could be neighborhood. for me, it's a running group as well as, church and other friendships. So I know you mentioned you grew up with a lot of cousins. You and I didn't grow up together. We lived in California and you guys moved up to Vancouver. But I remember visiting and just loving all the cousins, all the kids, growing up, doing life together. How was that village community impactful for you? Like, what are your memories of growing up with so much family around?
Oh, we had just so much fun. I don't know, when I think back, it's not just like even holidays. Last year we went over at their house almost, every weekend. We would have either sleepovers or
random Tuesday.
Yeah. It was just it was like constant. And I would always say, Luba is like my mom. Like we were always at their place, and then with the Mama Tui, boys and stuff, and Evelina and all, so it was constantly, it was so much
we
fun.
have like 30 cousins on that side.
I know, I was about to say, honestly, that's like so many people. So it's kind of hard, but it was just, I don't know, you just always had something to do, always were going to one of the like houses and spending time together. So it was a lot of fun. It was never lonely from what I remember.
Never lonely. Yeah. And then what made you guys decide to move away and be on your own?
Well, Miro, he lived in Montana when I met him. His parents are there, and we moved there because he was finishing college to become a petroleum engineer. So we moved to the Kalispell area and we lived there for about a year. And that was like a shock to me. It's super beautiful there. It's just so beautiful. But I just remember coming there and it was just like a automatic stop of like, I don't know, seeing my sisters or anybody. So that was like really tough. And he was going to school a lot. So from like morning till night. So I just got a job as a caregiver and I worked all the hours I could. So that kind of kept me company. Busy. Yeah. But so we moved away for that year, the first year we were married. And then after that, we moved to another town in in Montana called Butte. And that was the hardest because my in-laws weren't there. His parents weren't there. It was just brand new. It was definitely getting used to, but
were you able to make any friendships there? And what did that look like? From your job.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I just walked into a cafe, like a breakfast cafe, and I was like, "Are you guys hiring?" And they were like, "Yeah, you start tomorrow." So I did, and I worked there for 3.5 years, and that was my family in Butte, and that's what I felt. We did Thanksgiving together. We did so many things together. So that was just so needed. But I don't know. A lot of my village before comes from where I worked. That's when I became a mom. That was really hard for me because I wasn't going to work. I was just staying home, and I didn't even have my mom here to help me or anything. So that was hard. But a lot of hard times, but a lot of good memories too. It's like
you just have to put yourself out there and
you do. That's the secret. You can't just wait for someone to show up. You just have to go and be uncomfortable for a little bit to find people.
Yeah, that is so true. So many times people approach me like, you have such a great group of friends. I wish and how do you, right? So people kind of just don't really know how to connect or don't want to impose themselves on others, but you do have to take a risk. And if you like somebody, just start a conversation, right? And those people can end up being your best friends or your village.
Yeah,
even
that's true.
So you moved away from your sisters, but I imagine you guys still visit a lot and probably talk on the phone.
Yeah, it's so amazing that we have technology that we could talk to people far away. Yeah, my sisters, we talked every single day, and or at least we try to. Of course, life gets in the way sometimes, but I've had them visiting me here, and I try to go there every year. But even just on a daily basis, my mom and my sisters just that's my support too. It's I don't know when I first thought of village, it's like the people physically here, and I'm like I have nobody here, but I do. But I was just thinking about family, and I have them. Of course, I have them, and they count too, even if it's through the phone.
Of course they count. Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. Maybe we could talk about Yana, your sister,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, kind of recently passed away. And
Hmm.
um, gosh, in a
Yeah.
village that's so tight, that must have been heartbreaking. So, can you talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
It was really hard, and unfortunately, I just like a series of things led to it, and honestly, it was like deep loneliness too for her. She it was so hard for her, but uh, the day that I found out that she passed away, honestly, I felt like it was like a cruel joke. I was just like, haha, like I don't know. It was so like I was like, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Like what? But so that was
I
really
felt the same
hard.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I seriously thought someone was messing with me,
Mm.
um, and then I was like, I'm not gonna believe it until someone proves that, like, takes a picture of her or so. I don't know, but yeah, um, it was definitely hard. And honestly, though, I like made a promise to myself that, like, from her passing, I would try better in life too. And I like became a reader, and I became like, I don't know, I just started doing things that was like not really me before. So,
Was that
um,
like her? Are those the things she loved, or just
no,
kind of?
well, she wrote poems a lot, and she did read
Mhm.
some, but not really. It was just maybe it was like a therapy for me to like get myself into another world, like through reading novels, like just ignore my world, like. And it was easier. It's easier
Like an
for me at
escape?
this. Yeah, it is. And
Mhm.
with my kids, I don't really watch movies or TV. It's so hard. But at nighttime, if I'm like laying in bed, I have my little flashlight and I'm just like reading. So like it's like my quiet time. It was my quiet time. I don't unfortunately do that much now because I have another thing that takes up my time now. I don't know. I just kept trying to find ways to cope with her death. So reading was the one thing I did for the first year when after she passed away, and then the day before her first death anniversary, I started to draw as my therapy because I don't really like to journal. Words don't come easy for me, and I just was like, I'm gonna do a 10-minute sketch every single day of just something random, and that will be my
What
diary.
brought that up? Have you been good at drawing before in school or anything?
Yeah, so I love to paint, and I had a private paint tutor that would like before I got married. I always liked to do artsy stuff, but painting was my thing. But with this season of my life with kids, it
Mhm.
just by the time I have the paint squeezed out and by the time I'm ready, it's just either I'm like worried that the paint will get little fingers in them and be all over the walls. So a pencil's a lot easier for me to pick up, draw for 2 minutes, and put down if I need to go. Um, so that's been my thing. And I honestly, I didn't know it was going to bring me here where I'm at all. I was thinking before, I was like, how am I going to, like, when I was planning to start painting again, I actually ordered all the supplies. And while I was waiting for the paint supplies to come in, I was like, I'm going to just practice drawing to, it kind of fell in that time where I started started drawing every day as my diary. So I kind of had that like two in one thing to practice and to have a diary of like a drawing diary. So, and it just kind of kept going.
What
So
would you draw? Was it random things, or were you attracted to
yeah,
certain things?
yeah, it was just birds, backyard birds. I would draw Yana's favorite animal, which is a turtle. And, or just like random things, like I had like live flowers and I would just draw the flowers or fruit or whatever. It definitely had me like a zone out moment. And that was therapeutic for me to just, I don't know, escape, I guess, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did you find that over time that's become your therapy and a way of coping? Or maybe it's not coping. Maybe at this point it's more like honoring her legacy.
Yeah.
How did you pull through that season of just trying to keep yourself busy and numb, and then, fast forward to opening yourself up to a healing and like a new understanding of this gift that you have?
I don't know exactly the transition, but it's very emotional to draw too. I don't know, with the zoning out, and I feel like you kind of access other parts of your brain. That sounds weird, maybe, but like,
Not weird at all.
yeah. So it's very emotional too. And I've sold several pieces. I do commissions. And even if I'm drawing someone else's picture that they're like, I want this to be drawn, it's like when I package it up to ship it away, I like feel like I want to cry.
It's like a piece of your heart going.
It is. It is. Yeah. It's so interesting. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this whole, it is therapy for me. I don't know. It's something I could create, and I could, I don't know, do my own thing. And I'm really happy I found it. I honestly, I don't know. A year ago today, I would be shocked that I would be like drawing.
This is where you're at.
Yeah. Drawing and selling it. And it's so crazy to me. Like, how did I get here? But I'm very thankful, very thankful. It gives me something to do and pour my heart out too. So,
was there anybody in your village encouraging you or helping you stay accountable that you're going to draw every day for, this allotted period of time? Was anybody instrumental in helping you with that?
Well, my number one support is my husband, Miro. He would be like, did you draw today? And yeah, when I started, kind of like, I think this means a lot to me. I think I really enjoy this. And I don't know. So he would be interested, and he's still, we're in our office room and it's kind of out of the way. Every morning he comes in to like see the progress that I would make, like still make.
Is that the drawing behind you?
Yeah, I have actually 2 of them that I'm working on their commissions. So yeah, and it's a very slow process, especially when the details come in and stuff. It's sometimes I would draw for like an hour and a half and it's like, what happened? I mean, like, where's the progress? But it's there, it's coming. But he right away bought me a desk, for like a drawing desk. He would watch the kids for me to draw. And it's just, yeah, he's definitely my emotional, financial, biggest support. That, I mean, I have other people that support me, but he's my number one support for sure.
Yay! So kudos, I know. Hero. Shout out.
I know. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, he always believes in me, and it's just like, I'm so happy for him.
I mean, not surprising that you're talented, but honestly, like looking at those horse pictures and the animals, I started showing them to my kids, to people that work with me. I'm like, look at my cousin. Look at how talented she is. What I'm understanding about talent, I love to draw as well, but I don't make myself draw every day for 10 minutes or whatever. I've just always been kind of good at it, right? But having a talent and then getting to the level where you're doing commissions, that does require the work. That requires just the daily show upness. Yeah. And that's the same thing. Like if you want to write a book or create something significant, it's not talent and then whoops, it's created. Like it takes the grind, the daily, the shading. Sometimes, like you said, you spend an hour on it and you barely see any improvement. But that action of working on it, just doing it, that is what gives you those hours, like, they say 10,000 hours to become an expert at something, right? So I think that's kind of what takes a talented person to that success level, is just showing up every day and doing it.
It really is. Honestly, even some days when I don't feel like it, I'm just like, I just got to sit down. And once I sit down, it's a lot easier. It's like when you start something, it's the hardest part is starting. But like,
yes, this has been my podcast journey. I've been talking about doing this forever. And then I'm like, okay, I just need the right equipment. Okay, I just need the right logo. And finally I'm just like, you know what? I just need to start recording. I just need to start talking to people and recording. And it's true. It's the start that stops most people, whether that's a health journey, meeting a goal that they're wanting to do, or, becoming an artiste. I am just so proud of you and blown away. Your pictures are beautiful. And I love that you're getting to do what you love. And be able to, like, those paintings or pictures have a life of their own after they leave you, right? They're hanging in somebody's home and bringing them joy as well. So that is
so crazy to me.
That is huge. How do you see your sister Yana in this art that you're creating?
First thing, she had a really big work ethic, and I remember she used to work at a hotel, and they were short staffed, so she worked 17 hours. She just she would show up every day, basically.
Very diligent.
And she was when she had a will, she had a way. And that was, I don't know, that gives me like the push that I need, kind of like, okay, I need to keep doing this. I could just imagine if she was right here next to me, like what she would say. It really pushes me to just keep going and keep trying, because I just know she would be so proud of me. And I don't know, she was the kind of person that she would like almost brag about her siblings to people. And so I'm just like, I got to make her proud. I got to keep going. And so that's when I like kind of don't feel like it, because sometimes I'm just like, this is so hard, and why did I even take this on? But
it's like the pressure of making it count, right?
But also it's just, I don't know, capturing a moment. Like, for example, either if someone gives me a picture, or if they are like, I want this horse, but I want it facing this way and this way, or whatever. And I had to kind of create that in my head. So creating something that doesn't even exist, like I don't even have a picture reference to it. A lot of the pictures that I do, it's like memorial horses that passed away. I feel Yana in that. And when I could give somebody a picture that they don't even have of someone of a horse that they loved, or of anything, it just, I don't know, I put my heart and soul into it. I want them to feel like that horse, or whatever anybody wants, is actually there with them, is looking at them through that picture. So it's a very big driving force. That's for me. So
to make an impact in their life, to help them remember their loved one and the experience that they had, right? Yeah, that is very sweet legacy. Just blows my mind that you found this gift at like your late 20s.
I know. It's wild. I don't know how that happened.
I love it. I love art as therapy. But yeah, again, therapy's therapy, but you still have to show up. So that's kind of where I keep going back. It's not just going to happen. You got to keep showing up.
One thing I wanted to mention too. So right when I started to draw, I read the book Atomic Habits. I don't know if you ever read that book.
Yep.
And that helped me a lot. Just being 1% better every single day. I would pray, God, work through my hands. I don't know why I just started praying like that when I started drawing. I'm like, I didn't know that I was going to be selling or that I was going to be doing this to this extent. I had no idea. God worked through my hands, help me bring your beauty onto a piece of paper for somebody. So I truly feel like God just put this on like 10 times speed for me. I don't know. It kind of blew up for me. So in a good way. So that was really helpful.
It's like you feel God's pleasure in you when you do this.
Yeah. So God is the ultimate creator and he loves it when we create. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do remember some of the poems that Yana read or posted. I did have a conversation with her. I don't know if it was maybe half a year, maybe it was a year before she passed away. Mm-hmm. We haven't talked in years. And then she called me randomly and we were hoping that she would get to visit and spend some time here. But it was just really heartbreaking to hear her story, the loneliness and the heartbreak that she was feeling. Mm-hmm. Well, she's ultimately healed and in heaven. Yeah. So we will rejoice in that. Yeah. So you still live in Montana? I saw that it's snowing.
North Dakota.
What in the world?
Yeah. I live in North Dakota now. So
North Dakota.
Okay. I keep going east. I want to go back west. No, I'm kidding. But so North Dakota now, it's very cold. And when my mom came to visit one winter, she was like, it's worse than Siberia. Well, we have no mountains, no trees, and the wind blows all the time. So when it's cold, it gets even colder with the wind. But yeah.
Oh, that is so different from where we're at. It was like 90 degrees today.
How crazy. That's so crazy. Yeah, we were shoveling snow today. So
I saw that and I just couldn't believe it. Of course, can't believe that it's November already.
Yeah, I know, how crazy.
So what does your current village look like? You mentioned that you do have a group of moms and mops. Talk a little bit about mops.
Yeah. So when Arthur was born, about a month after, I had a friend here. She was like, do you want to try this mom group out with me? And I was like, yeah, I mean, might as well. I'm new to this mom thing and I don't have much anybody here. And on the day that we were planning to go to MOPS together, it was her first time too. So I was about to come out the door. I had Arthur ready. And of course, it took me 2 hours to get out because by the time I dressed him, fed him, he had a blowout and I had to change him again. So it just took a long time. I was very new to it. I was heading out the door and I got a text from her. Hey, sorry, I can't make it today. And I was like, I'm going to go anyway because I did not do this for nothing. So I show up and of course it was the nicest woman. And they were just so kind to me, showed me where the nursery is and sat me down. And it was just the beginning of like just this amazing group of women that like support each other. And it's not just every 2 weeks that you meet together. It's just taking walks together, meeting at the park. Without it, I don't know how I could do motherhood. I really don't. MOPS is the best thing that ever happened. And when we tried to move away back to Montana, a couple of years ago, from North Dakota, we tried to move back to Montana. I joined a MOPS group there too. And same thing, such nice women. And I don't know, it's like right away, they invite you over, you just have coffee. It truly, I can't recommend it enough to other moms that haven't tried it. That's a big thing for me. And even through that MOPS group, I even have one mom friend here that I meet up once a week. Doesn't matter what's going on. We just meet up once a week at her house. And it just kind of keeps life going. And it keeps you sane. Especially here in the middle of nowhere in North Dakota. I live in a very small town and the bigger cities are at least an hour away from me. When I had my kids, they didn't even have a maternity ward here. So,
oh, wow.
I had I had to drive an hour and a half to deliver Arthur. A lot of the women here, the moms here, they're here because their husbands are working in the oil field. They're in the same boat as me, and we kind of understand each other. So yeah, it's a huge help. Just tremendous. But yeah.
It's life-giving to have friends who understand you, who might be in the same boat, and who you could just come in and hang out with, right? And share the hardships and the good times with.
Yep. So very true.
That is a gift. So MOPS is Mothers of Preschoolers. How big is your group?
I don't know exactly. Maybe 50 to 60 people. So I don't know if that's average or not, but it's growing every year. We have so many people now compared to even when I first went. So many moms are moving here and I remember a season when I had 3 babies, like 3 in diapers, because we had 3 in 3 years. And same kind of thing. We moved to Corona. The first thing that I looked up was MOPS, or Moms Group, and found the local church that was hosting a Moms Group. And some of those people are still dear friends to this very day. We've done life together, memorized scripture together. We've even switched churches and all kind of went separate ways, but there's still that core group of where we can look at the golden years when we were raising our babies. One thing I remember is it was like maybe first or second Christmas that we were here in Corona and didn't have money. We were living with my parents. It was Christmas time. And I remember that our table leader organized this thing, and she brought gifts over for the kids. And some of those, a pillow, like a princess pillow that Kaylin just loved. That pillow was with us for so many years, and that was just so meaningful. It's a simple little gift, but just the fact that somebody thought of us and wanted to make our Christmas special just means so much to have friends. And I think that is really how we shine our light, right? Jesus said, "Let your light shine," so that men see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So I think when we're welcoming and inviting and sharing in a community like that, that opens up that opportunity for us to shine to other people and receive God's love also through the church and friends. So that is very lovely. Do you have a website, or what is next for your art? What are we doing? So I do want a website. For now, I just have my Facebook, the Oksana Zwagelski Fine Art, but I do plan on doing more. It's just, I can only draw so many drawings in a certain time. So, it's kind of slow going, but I do plan on expanding. Hopefully I can get better and faster. So, things can move along.
It feels like a slow process, like this type of art and this type of therapy. Maybe that's what I need. I need something slow.
Yeah, it definitely slows you down for sure.
Yeah.
In a good way, kind of like grounding.
Yes. Like not slow in a bad way, but
yeah.
Just slow and grounding. Nothing that's worth doing is easy or fast, right?
Right.
So just taking the time to let your inspiration come and do the work and make it slow. Kind of like a practice in patience almost.
It is. Yeah, it definitely, there are some benefits to drawing. If you just Google it, it's really good for your brain, and your, emotional state and stuff. It's very healthy for you. So it works out all the different parts that you don't really use throughout the day on a normal day basis. So
Have your boys been inspired to draw? Do they like to draw and make
yeah,
art?
yeah. Arthur, he does. Theo, he's still kind of like, oh, whatever. He's kind of
Me
young, but
too.
yeah, yeah. But Arthur, he's very he's a see monkey do monkey. He'll do anything you do. So I mean, he learned how to draw a smiley face, so he draws that all the time. So, or I'm like, mommy's working. And then he's like, Arthur's working too. And so I had to give him a paper and a pencil too. But I don't really draw it now during the day anymore because it's just once you get into that flow stage of drawing, if you keep getting like snapped out of it or like
Yeah.
distracted, it's kind of hard to get back into it. So when I put them down at nighttime, I go and I draw for usually about an hour and a half, and that time flies by. I don't even realize it, and I'm just like, whoa, it's time to go to bed. And this is coming from somebody that really likes her sleep, so this is a big sacrifice, I guess, to my sleep, because yeah, there's no other time I figured that I can draw during the day at all.
So if somebody wanted to try art therapy, what would be your advice? Like, where does one start to do this?
I would just say get like a sketchbook, and just start drawing like anything in front of you. And one tip of advice I could give is don't like draw what you see, not what you think you see. Like if you're trying to draw someone's eye, like you think eye, no, you have to look into like the values. So draw the shapes instead of like eyelashes. Don't think eyelashes. Think that, oh, this is like darker right here. So I don't know. That's why I don't know if you've heard people say flip a picture upside down and draw that. So it kind of tricks your brain that you're not drawing like a hand, for example. So that's how you could basically learn to draw anything. Because if you draw what you see, not what you like are thinking about. So it's, yeah, that's my tip. So for
That
anybody,
is some great practice. So maybe set some time aside every day.
yeah. Oh yeah, 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. That's all you need, and just start from there.
And does a person need a designated space, or can they draw anywhere?
Anywhere and anything, do it. Just start. And I just tell anybody that like will listen to me, just do it. Just draw. I don't care if you get better than me. I don't care about competition or anything. It brought me so much joy and just, I don't know, a purpose, I guess. And I want others to feel the same thing too. Especially if I could see someone's creative. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. That is very good. So give us your Facebook page again. And do you have something on Instagram as well, or just the Facebook for now?
Just a Facebook for now. Anybody can follow me on my Instagram. It is not like a art page completely, but it's kind of personal stuff too. But I do my Facebook page, the Oksana Zwagelski Fine Art, is my professional social page. But my Instagram page is on public, so anybody can follow me there too. And I will be posting my art there too. And it's at Oksana Zwagelski.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm was just happy to hear about your process. And I love that this has brought you so much joy. It makes me really happy. And I'm so proud of you. Very talented. And keep us updated on your art.
Will do. And thank you so much for having me on here. It was so exciting to be here. Sorry I talked fast. I was just very excited.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's show and got to know Oksana a little bit more. I'm just in awe that something that started with 10 minutes a day has turned into this life-giving practice. I hope you start something. Leave in the comments section what you guys have started for this new year. Maybe there's a practice that we can all start together. And who is a part of your village? Leave that in the comments as well. I'm excited to share more episodes with you guys. My goal is to have a weekly guest. It is somebody that I know, somebody that I think you all should know. And I would love for them to become a part of your village as well. Thank you for joining us today on We the Village. Don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube and follow us on all the socials at We the Village Podcast.